PragerU has a new video out. Should illegal immigrants be deported? Compton versus Beverly Hills. Man on the street. Also, why so many dislikes? 1.4 dislikes? Only 945 likes? Is there something stupid gonna happen with this video? I mean, it's PragerU, so we know, but like, what else?
What's up, guys? Aldo here with PragerU. Illegal immigration is among the top issues for voters. So today, I'm in Beverly Hills, California to ask people if we should deport the millions of illegal immigrants in our country. Then I'm headed to Compton, California to ask the same question. Should be interesting. Let's do it. The question we're asking Americans today is, should we deport illegal aliens?
No.
Tell me why.
Because at the end of the day, we're all immigrants here. And I think if you're contributing to society and not harming it, why not?
No. So the we're all immigrants thing, like, it's just, yeah, technically that's kind of true, but like, it's just not true in this context. We know what he means, okay? We all know what he means. That's not necessarily even a bad answer, like, totally, but also let's keep this in mind. A little bit of stats involving deportation. So keep in mind that a lot of the times conservatives frame this illegal immigrant argument around how illegals are sucking up our social services. They're using all the welfare. Oh. Well, they seem to care a lot about money, but then all of a sudden, when it comes to the deportation of illegal immigrants, they don't really have much concern about money. The labor force would shrink by 6.4% if there was mass deportation. There would be an estimated $1.6 trillion reduction of the US GDP as a result of mass deportation. The US economy would shrink by 5.7%, and it would cost $400 billion to the federal government if we were to do mass deportation. So let's just remember this fact, okay? We talk about the national deficit. We talk about inflation. We talk about the economy. These are all conversations that are very important to people. This is benefiting from immigrants. And even more so, if we were to deport all of these illegal immigrants, we would have massive harm to the American economy.
No, I don't, because they have their reasons that they came here, yeah.
If they're escaping?
Well, yeah, no shit. I mean, some of them have their reasons for coming here, which is they want to sell drugs or do human trafficking, right? Like, a conservative could easily respond that way. That's a really shit answer. Well, I mean, everybody has their reasons. Everybody has their reasons for doing everything. It doesn't mean that the thing they're doing is okay.
If they're escaping something, you don't know how bad it is for them to come.
Well, probably.
Okay, see, that I agree with. Like, there's a difference between just somebody illegally crossing the border because they're seeking economic opportunities, or somebody illegally crossing the border because they're seeking asylum. There's a pretty big difference there.
Well, probably so. You got a lot of guys that come out of jail and everything else, you know.
I would lean toward.
A lot of guys have come out of jail and then just entered the country? Undocumented immigrants have substantially lower crime rates than native-born citizens and legal immigrants across a range of felony offenses. Relative to undocumented immigrants, U.S.-born citizens are over 2 times more likely to be arrested for violent crimes, 2.5 times more likely to be arrested for drug crimes, and over 4 times more likely to be arrested for property crimes. So, are some illegal immigrants criminals? Yeah. Are they all just like violent criminals? No.
I'm against, that's the whole point, illegal. So if you're going to enforce any laws, about to enforce that one also.
Yeah, I believe so. They treat the immigrants better.
This is another thing too. Like, conservatives, they like to turn their brain off and go into 2D mode. And they're like, well, it's the law, so we should be following the law. But what did they say about the law when Roe v. Wade was the law? They seem to be all about changing the law then. But now, when it comes to the illegal immigrant issue, well, we have to follow the law. Changing the law? What law? They're all okay changing the laws whenever it's something they don't like. But then when it comes to, like, illegal immigrants, they're like, well, it's the law. Change the law then. Make it so that it's easier to be a citizen here, so that we can have more legal citizens here, bringing the benefits to this country that illegal immigrants bring to this country right now.
They treat the immigrants better than they treat our people. they give them more benefits than they give us.
There have been over
That's not even true. Illegal immigrants are paying into those benefits far more than they're taking out. There was a $100 billion surplus generated by undocumented immigrants in the Social Security program in the last decade. There was $35.1 billion surplus generated by undocumented immigrants in the Medicare Trust Fund from 2000 to 2011. There was also, interesting that guy brought up crime a minute ago, there was also a 48% decline in U.S. violent crime from 1990 to 2013, a time when the undocumented population tripled. So this like, well, they're taking our stuff, you know. No, they're not. They're paying into these services.
There have been over 7 million illegal immigrants that have crossed our border. 3 in 5 illegal immigrants are on taxpayer-funded welfare. It costs the U.S. taxpayer about $150 billion a year.
What? All right, let's look this up. Interesting, because I'm literally seeing something completely opposite. I think that they may have just mushed a bunch of big sounding numbers together with taxpayer to sound scary. But it says, based on data from the Survey of Income and Program Participation, we find that immigrants consume 27% less welfare and entitlement benefits than native-born Americans on a per capita basis in 2020. Immigrants were 14.6% of the U.S. population and consumed just 11.1% of all means-tested welfare and entitlement benefits in 2020. By comparison, immigrants consumed 21% less welfare and entitlement benefits in 2016 and 28% less in 2019. The under-consummation of welfare by immigrants relative to native-born Americans widened by about 6 percentage points. Figure 1 shows the average per capita welfare costs by program for all native-born Americans and all immigrants. The average value of welfare benefits per immigrant was $6,063 in 2020, or 27.3% less than the average value of welfare benefits per native-born American, which stood at $8,335. Oh wait, because SIPP data do not distinguish between the use of federal and state funds, these inclusions produce more accurate estimates. Overall, immigrants consumed about 27% less welfare and entitlement benefits in 2020 than native-born Americans, roughly the same as in 2019. Immigrants were 14.6% of the U.S. population and consumed just 11% of means-tested welfare. Native-born Americans consumed $2.3 trillion in means-tested welfare and entitlement benefits in 2020, compared to $290.4 billion consumed by immigrants. Elderly immigrants consumed more Medicaid benefits than elderly native-born Americans, but for all other large programs and most smaller ones, natives are more expensive than immigrants in the same age groups on a per capita basis. Okay, so we can look at the data here very clearly and see that like native-born Americans age 65 or older are using more welfare benefits than immigrants, all immigrants. Okay, so when he says like 1 in 3 immigrants are on welfare, did you know that? Well, more than 1/3 of Americans receive welfare benefits also. He's framing it in a way to make it sound scarier than it actually is. Look at how many of them are on welfare. He leaves out the fact that they're, even on welfare, they're taking less welfare.
Of course, it costs more money. You know, it's going to cost more money.
It costs the American taxpayer $150 billion a year. We literally just read that actually native-born Americans cost the American taxpayer $2.3 trillion. And he's like, $100 billion from the illegals, ooh.
Because you're giving it to them for free when we got to pay for it and struggle and work hard.
With that money, we could have fixed Flint's water crisis 240 times over. We could have given each, unhoused veteran $4 million each. So it's more of a question of not if they're good people, but do they have a right to be here, and is that unfair to struggle?
Oh my God, he's unironically assuming that like all the money that was used for the immigrant benefits is just otherwise like money sitting in a bank that could just be like picked up and used elsewhere. He doesn't even understand that like there's a system and the economy and everything else. Oh, brother.
Honestly, if they're, like you said, illegally immigrant, then I feel like it is like an issue.
They're not really taking care of the
Why did they cut it so quick? I feel like it really is just an issue.
people that's here in America legally. You got illegals come here and they give them a place to stay, they give them money, they put them on welfare, and I don't think that's right. You take care.
Look at this shit. So many people would be floored to find out that illegal immigrants are not actually taking all that much welfare.
Your own first.
I think we are living in one world, and we are all human in the end. So it doesn't matter where we come from. And since they came to the United States illegally, they have serious reasons to be here.
Do you think there is a number that's too many?
I feel bad for that girl. She obviously means well, but she's also like, she's pretty much just giving conservatives exactly what they want. You know, we're all just here. Can't we all just be nicer? Like, that's not going to work on conservatives.
No.
About 100 million. Is that too many?
I would say that's a third of our population, and it could get concerning.
What would you say to the people that I talk to in Compton that are frustrated with the illegal immigration?
I would say no one can take something that's yours. So if
I would say, why do I care? Okay, just if there are people in Compton or minorities say they don't like the illegal immigrants there, so? Minorities are not experts on illegal immigrants.
if they're coming and taking your job or superseding, maybe you should work harder and figure out some other talents. If you take my job, I just feel like it was yours, or I need to like shape up.
You can't go to no other country. You have a time limit. And I've been all over the world because I work for an airline. And when your time is up, they come and tell you a few days that you have to leave a certain date. And you got to be gone.
Currently, it's a felony to cross the border illegally. Do you think that's an outdated law?
I'm going to say yes. Probably outdated from day one.
I'll be a little racist back.
Yeah, it probably is a little bit outdated, because don't you think that it could be, don't you think we can make the process by which you immigrant here easier? Because right now, America, it's my understanding, has one of the most challenging immigration systems on the planet. Maybe if we made the process to become a legal immigrant easier, we wouldn't accidentally be incentivizing illegal immigrants. There is a system that's broken here, and it can be fixed, but conservatives don't want to do that.
Like that.
A little bit, you know, and that's me being generous.
Obviously, we need to strengthen our borders. And I mean, if you're an illegal alien and you commit a crime, go home, like straight up. Like,
yo, dude, that fedora is a fucking crime. Straight up. This outfit needs to go home.
I'm sure it is not a great thing to have them on taxpayer money and to have them reap if they're coming only to reap those benefits. Obviously, that's not good. I don't think that's the main reason they come.
why is the government kind of incentivizing illegal immigrants to come? That's the thing. That's the question we really got to ask.
I was just in
Thank you. Yo, fedora guy is actually kind of based. Yo, you know what? I tip my fedora to you, kind sir. Very nice. It's true. The system is fucked up right now. It's literally incentivizing illegal immigration.
I was just in Compton, and a lot of people there were saying that they think people should be deported.
I don't think I can talk about this in here. Yeah, maybe because they're racist. Yeah, that's why.
I ain't got nothing.
Oh, ha ha ha. See, she said a black person was racist. Isn't that like a contradiction to the straw man of what a liberal thinks? Ha! It's like so transparent. We can see through all of this bullshit.
Negative to say they not wrong for fighting for what they believe in, but we got to fight what we believe in too.
I think that in the end of the day, our taxpayer money should be going towards citizens first. And I think that
Just if you're fighting for what you believe in intrinsically, that does not make your behavior moral in any way. There were also people that strongly believed that slaves shouldn't be freed. They were not moral just because they fought for their beliefs.
it shouldn't be like a radical idea either. Like, it should be going towards us, and it should be going towards public benefits.
Well, guys, that's it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think we should deport these illegal immigrants?
I think your hair has already been deported because your hairline is receding rapidly, my friend. You need to get a fucking border up there. Wow, that was painful. But then again, PragerU, Prager pill, it never isn't painful.